Welcome back everybody to Forza Horizon 5. Today we're doing another online race, or online championship, and yeah, we're in the brand new 2022 Cadillac CT4-V Blackwing. So yeah, this is the third race in this lobby, so we'll race it and then we'll look at the stats and whatnot once we get into the next lobby. So yeah, it's now got 500 horsepower, which is an increase of 28 horsepower. And 471 pounds-feet of torque, which is an increase of 27 pounds-feet of torque in its original 3.6 litre twin turbocharged V6. So yeah, not had the most amount of upgrades to be able to give this, given it was already at 760 PI in A-Class, but still got wider tyres up front and rear, still got race brakes, it's got a race transmission, race drive line, to reduce a little bit of the weight of the extra wider tyres, and yeah, that extra power as well going in it. So yeah, it's just, you know, little bits here and there to make it that a little bit better. Not that it's not a cracking car already, because obviously, you know, I had high praise for this originally, and yeah. Again though, whether or not it's going to be competitive is a whole other story, but I do like the way I've upgraded this. And the V6 is definitely a punchy engine, despite probably not being the most powerful thing here. Good rate of speed on it once it gets going. And the handling isn't half bad either, but the brakes are definitely the best bit of this, with the race upgrades and the fact that it's had a reduction in weight as well. The Lotus probably got more power than it, at least. Yeah, snuck right into a 5th or 6th place, whatever position it was. So yeah, like I said, it does weigh less than it did originally at 3,424 pounds, which is a weight reduction of 436 pounds. So yeah, you add that little bit of extra power and torque on top of, you know, weighing more than 400 pounds less, and yeah, the acceleration has improved. Not by a massive amount, you know, we're not talking more than a second quicker to 60 or to 100, but yeah, definitely by an amount that is, you know, margin. So yeah, it's able to increase somewhat. So yeah, it's now able to do 0 to 60 in 3.781 seconds instead of 4 seconds in stock form, and 0 to 100 in 8.752 seconds over the stock form. Stock cars 9.4 seconds to 100, and it can do 196 at the top end rather than 192. So yeah, although quite frankly top speed in these races is rarely relevant. I think the most I've gotten up to on any of these races in A-Class is about 160, 170 miles an hour, maybe a little bit more than that, but rarely got up towards 200. So yeah, there's your stats. So yeah, still got the 50-50 weight distribution that makes this car as good of a handling car as it is, and yeah, there's the stats. So yeah, the speed, handling, acceleration and braking are all excellent. Launch could be a little bit better, and yeah, although the acceleration is a decent amount, it's yeah, more of a car that once you work through the gears, that's when it ends up being a reasonably quick car. But immediate off the line, not the best, despite the 0 to 60 time being comfortably under 4 seconds. Just doesn't have that all-wheel drive get up and go that a lot of vehicles on this game do have when they're upgraded or even in stock form. So yeah, but still a pretty good car, I find. Very reliable in terms of, you know, being consistent in terms of how it handles, which is unlike the CT5-V Blackwing when we upgraded that. Granted, we did give that 1,000 horsepower, and even then it wasn't even top of the PI class. So yeah, whereas we've been a lot more sensible with this. But you know, still 500 horsepower in a rear-wheel drive saloon car is not, you know, restraint, I find. Obviously you could put this into the next class and give it even more power. Hell, you could even swap the CT5-V engine in this if you so wish. So you've got the lightweight, shorter body of the CT4, but you've got the massive amounts of power from the CT5, which, you know, is probably a little bit intoxicating in some regards, given how much less this weighs over the CT5. But yeah, let's see what we can do with this. I was surprised by how much we caught up that Lotus in that final race there. As you can see, the all-wheel drive gives a Mitsubishi GTO or whatever it is, had a much better off the line than we did. We have a fellow Cadillac in front of us though. Well balanced car this, and with the extra wide tread on the front and the rear, it's even more balanced, and on top of that obviously the lack of weight. Also, I think the engine sounds a little bit better with the upgrades I've given it. I don't think I did any major upgrades in terms of air intake or anything like that, but certainly did enough. 28 extra horsepower and make it nice around 500. A bit of understeer there. Speed once we get going. Unlike that Honda, which is drifting out of existence. So I've got more than the Supra as well. Get around the corner, there we go. To third. I think we have the legs over the Nissan Z car. Come on. It's right on our arse. Come on. Yes. 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 That was close though. We should have gone further. What? Lag. Lag. We were ahead of the Nissan visually, but clearly in terms of time, we weren't. Snatched from the... well, not really snatched from the jaws of defeat, more thrown into them more than anything, yeah. It's annoying that. When you're so close together as drivers and the like, and yet, you know, inconsistency in terms of online connection and whatnot puts someone else slightly ahead of you, when quite clearly, as you saw there, I was ahead. That's annoying. But still, the Cadillac putting up a good fight there. It was fairly consistent through most of the corners. It only had a little bit of understeer a couple of times. And yeah, we were ahead of likes of Toyota GR Supra, which is obviously more of a sports car than this is, which, yeah, it's a sports saloon, but at the end of the day it's got a lot of practicality in it, which obviously is a compromise over the Toyota, which doesn't really have any practicality, so it doesn't have the extra weight in terms of more doors, more space, more wheelbase and the like. So yeah, I'm pleased with how it did there, even if we did get our third place robbed from us. But oh well, can't be helped. And at the end of the day, I did enjoy a lot of that race, so It's not always the result that matters, it's the journey and the process. The fact is, I didn't have anyone questioning to me or cheating or anything like that, so it's always a plus as well, quite frankly. So we're doing a circuit-based race. M1 is all over the place in terms of oversteer. How this is going to handle the wet speed. See, it is rear wheel drive. You know, even in stock form it can be quite tail happy. Obviously I do have a bit of extra grip and the like, but that always doesn't matter when it comes to rain. Especially if you put the power down at the wrong point out of the corner. This Honda NSX though. He seems to be bouncing off the walls like a ping pong, or just buggers off completely. I think he missed the checkpoint. Oh well. 5th place for me. Should catch anyone in the top 4 though. Being a bit of no man's land at the moment. Yeah, I am genuinely surprised by how much I like this car, because I knew I'd like the CT5-V because, you know, I'm into my big powerful V8s, especially out of America. With its supercharger and, you know, Cadillac doing plenty of good saloon cars with V8s before. I knew full well I'd enjoy that, but I am genuinely surprised by how much I enjoyed this, because I wasn't the biggest fan of the ATS-V, because I think that, despite having a decent amount of power and the like from its V6, was, yeah, just a little bit underwhelming in some regards. But this, yeah, might not have nailed it wholly in terms of how the rear end or the engine sounds, but in terms of the actual, you know, performance that it has going on and the amount of power and torque it's got going on, and yeah, the really well sorted out handling. It's just, yeah, as a driver's car, it's really rather well done. So yeah, although the CT5-V, driven by the person behind me, had a slightly faster time by 0.4 of a second. We are still comfortably in 4th place, so in terms of points overall, so I am pleased with that. So yeah, hopefully we can stay in the top 5 for the championship overall. Consider that a win in my regard, considering I understand that this is far from the most competitive of vehicles, but I'm sure if you've seen any of these other videos that I've done, that you'll know that competitive vehicles aren't generally the ones I set my eyes on intentionally. Might end up liking one that is and then upgrading it and it's a pretty good car, but I generally don't go for vehicles that are seen as competitive. I go for the ones that I enjoy driving, and this is one I enjoy driving, so yeah, that's why I chose it. Same with every other car that I've used on this online series. So, and we do have a few, I say a few, 4 in fact, new vehicles coming to the series festival playlist from Thursday. 4 brand new vehicles to the Forza series in general as well. So yeah, really looking forward to those. Especially the Lamborghini STO, I think it's called, and there's a brand new Audi Estate coming as well. don't get enough estate cars in these games, quite frankly, so it's nice to see another one added. Lotus, we don't all have your race car handling. That Cadillac put that guy into that wall. Yeah, that corner's caught me out before, so I feel how that Cadillac feels right now. Or I've felt how that Cadillac feels right now. For a Lotus, that car is not being driven particularly well. We've got the Goliath of a Ford GT alongside us. Still one of my favourite supercars ever made. Likely something we're going to ever see again in terms of a V8 powered Ford GT, but still pretty formidable regardless. Oh well, I have to settle for 6th. Hopefully that's enough to keep us in the top 5 in the championship overall, but yeah, I definitely made a few mistakes there. Namely when I'd overtaken the M1 and drifted into that corner, which really didn't help us, slowed us right the hell down. But we stayed ahead of the Lotus, stayed ahead of the Cadillac, beat the Toyota again, so yeah, pleased with that, but should have beaten that M1, and should have been right alongside that Ford GT at some points as well. But then again, that Ford GT, even in stock form, has about 50 or so horsepower more than we do, so yeah. But we stayed in 4th. There's a major distance between me and 3rd place, so in terms of points overall, but yeah, that's just how it goes. But yeah, I really do like the CT4. It's easily one of my favourite more modern cars. Usually I'm not a massive fan of modern cars, but with the likes of the Nissan Z car and the CT5 and the like, there's been a lot of modern cars that have been added to this game that haven't been in previous Forza games that I've really enjoyed. So yeah, hope you enjoyed this episode, but nonetheless, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.